trophy girls have gone missing, and Shrek and Green Donkey are ripping it up on the track. What is going on in the world of CTR? Let's talk a little bit about some of the news. What's up, fans and gamers alike? This is Josh Rockstar, and we're going to talk a little bit about the recent CTR news and, I guess you could say, outrages in some cases, as we got some new smaller reveals and reveals that have anecdotally been revealed through there not being a presence in the trailers. So we kind of have a bit to talk about, and I'm also going to touch upon some other stuff that's CTR related. But let's get down to business. First off, let's check in with our boys Zem and Zam right now. Oh, here we go. Yo, the dynamic duo from CNK are in the house. Ooh, that triple bomb. It looks like they're gonna have the Uka masks. So in fact, there is no green Velo mask happening here, but still cool nonetheless. We got these guys, these wise guys from Gas Moxia. Oh, of course, you gotta bump the electric skins. Super short reveal, but it's kind of like the fake Crash reveal where we saw Jungle Boogie. If you notice in the trailer, we see Meteor Gorge, and it's looking very, very different from its counterpart. It's missing a lot of the snow, but that's the sort of differentiated from the other snow levels. And there's a lot more meteors and fire, so that's cool. And it is a lot less blizzard-like, and the weather effects are kind of gone. But that's okay. We need to see the actual thing and race on it to get the full view of it, instead of the just the small little teases we've had in this very small trailer. Moving on now to something that I didn't think I was going to make a video of, but I watched Canadian Guy A's video, shout out to him, and he makes some very, very good points about the topic of the trophy girls, and why maybe, we don't know for sure, but maybe they might have been taken out of the game, and people are up in arms about it, and citing this social justice stuff. And Canadian Guy A's videos are very good. I think this one had a little bit more spice to it, and it's the reason why I want to talk about it, and I want to add a little bit to it. So we got the reveal on the podium a couple times now, and they're not there. Why? Why could it be? Well, I think the fact of the matter is that Trophy Girls is not exactly E10 friendly, and I think that's the reason why they're probably not going to be in their original CTR position in this game. The other reason could be to make room for the podium animations. Maybe they just kind of got in the way. Canadian Guy A says this and more in his video. You should check it out. But what I want to talk about is how I think this is quite funny that, like, a racing game kind of mirrors real life in this instance. And I'm over on the Telegraph, and I want to talk about something that happened before this, and it's sort of mirroring real life, because in F1 they scrapped the grid girls as well, the trophy girls. They decided this season that they're not going to be using trophy girls to accommodate the podiums and the racers, as they usually do and have done for a very long time. So I just found it kind of funny that the times are sort of changing, and I think games are moving with it. And of course there's going to be people who are pissed off about it, and I'm kind of pissed off about it too. But I think, like, in 1999, having them there as trophy girls was more acceptable than it is. And the 90s were about edge, and Crash was about edge. In the current iteration of Crash, I don't think that's quite the same, even though they've sort of have toned down versions in advertising and stuff like that. I don't think Crash is as edgy as he used to be, and especially since Crash and his counterpart Spyro have sort of filled the role in Activision's repertoire where they're the family-friendly game in the series, and it's gonna fill the spot of that one compulsory family-friendly game. So they can't afford a T rating because then that doesn't fit the criteria. So I wanted to shed some light on like real-world events that sort of mirror the events of this. And I'm not saying that the trophy girls are gone, because we don't know, and we won't know until they either announce it or the game comes out and we either see or don't see them. But hopefully they do make it in the game in another way. I do like the idea of them being skins for Tana, and I do like the idea of them being racers. But I don't think the racer idea works, because then it would be 4 racers added to the game, or they'd have to put like the name as like, they have to come up with something clever, and they'd have to be skins of each other. Now the other thing I want to talk about is a criticism about the way this game is being sold. I don't know whose fault it is, whether it's the retailers or if it's Activision's fault. I don't know how it works exactly, but I'm going to present the information, and maybe somebody else can find that out. So I've decided that I'm going to be buying the Nitrous Oxide Edition digitally, and this is something I'm doing for the first time. I've never pre-ordered a game digitally on the PlayStation Store. I've always bought it physical. Unfortunately, as much as I want a physical copy, this is one of the times where digital has beaten out physical. Very first time for me, but there's some shenanigans going on, at least in Canada, some shenanigans going on with pre-ordering this game and getting the copy of the Nitrous Oxide Edition that I've sort of been forced to go digital. It seems like the best viable option. It seems like the only option of buying the Nitrous Oxide Edition physical comes from EB Games, and they're selling it $20 more than the price of it on the PlayStation Store at $74.99 Canadian. And it's coming with these pins that I don't want, and I can't split the SKU. I can't just buy the CTR Nitro-Fueled like the Nitrous Oxide Edition by itself. This is the only way they're selling it. So it's $94.99 times 13% tax in Ontario, Canada. So I'm paying over $100 for this, and I'm getting stupid pins that I don't want. I just want the game. I want to pre-order it. I want to have it physical. Amazon, at least in Amazon.ca, they're just not carrying the Nitro-Fueled edition at all. They're just having the regular edition of the game. I've checked multiple times. I've waited on Amazon to see if they're going to pop the Nitrous Oxide Edition, but they're not. It's already, we're almost like 24 days in till it comes out. I want to make sure I have my stuff secured, and especially with the amount of pre-order stuff and the amount of extra content that is involved in this game. I'm going to get it digital, which has it for $74.99, and I don't pay tax. So in the end, I'm going to be buying digital for the first time. It feels weird, because I like having a copy of stuff. I've always liked having a copy of stuff, unless there's like a very, very good sale on a digital game, or the game is just inherently digital and you can't get it any other way. So especially for one of my favorite games of all time, I want this in my collection, but I'm going to have to buy the actual disc version at a later date, because I don't want to miss out on any of the content or any of the pre-order content just because these guys can't get their shit together. So I've decided to go digital. That's it for the CTR content for this video. If you haven't checked out my adventure mode video going over a lot of the details from that PlayStation Underground screen, I'll have it in the end screen as well. Subscribe to the channel for even more CTR content, as I'll be covering it all. Thanks for watching. Until the next video, which I think will probably be sometime this week. There's always something coming out CTR related every week. Until then, my name's Josh Rockstark, and peace out.